5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sync. Hello and welcome to the TTV Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Juan.
I'm Ven.
I'm Prpl.
And I'm Tenebrae Invictus.
And this is the TTV Podcast.
Yay!
I've kind of forgotten which episode it is, to be honest. Because, like, there's always, now with the new editing schedule, it's like there's one in the works sometimes.
So this would be 274
I'm not sure.
then.
Would it?
Well,
would it
let me see. When did the last one come out?
Like,
Yesterday?
Yeah.
In that case, yes, this would be 273. Which is we're inching our way towards that 300 mark.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Slowly but surely. After all these years.
When episode 200
Week after
came
week.
out. That was cool.
Were you
Day after
here?
day.
Yep.
Were
I've
you
been
a
here
cast
since
member?
I think so. I've been here since 270 something.
I wasn't around for it.
Rip.
I mean, yeah, because I was gone, and then I came back. Like
Indeed.
220
you were
something.
gone.
It was like 220 something when I came back last year.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
So what have you guys been up to?
Nothing
Chilling.
really. Yeah, just
living life at
it's
large.
kind of an important day. It's the most American holiday, I feel.
It's Black Friday. The time of this recording.
It is Black Friday.
The reason why everyone seems so dead right now is because we're still recovering from Thanksgiving dinner.
dude, Thanksgiving.
dude.
No offense, Mom, or anything, but Thanksgiving didn't really taste that good this year.
Dang.
Ouch.
Whoa,
My
look at that
Thanksgiving
shade.
dinner was so satisfying that I'm
Yeah,
getting
mine
a
was
food
pretty
coma
good.
all over again just from thinking about it.
Well,
I don't know. I
Mine was
enjoyed mine,
okay.
but I didn't stuff myself to death, so I ended up feeling hungry
I
a
didn't
little
either,
later
but
at night.
it was just very satisfying.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm at my parents' place for a week because we get a whole week off, and it's been very relaxing. But I spent because they moved when I went to college, so I don't know anybody here. I don't have any friends. I don't do anything here, so I've just been sleeping basically.
Yeah.
That's the majority of my time, and catching up on some sleep, and binging some shows. That's about it for this weekend. But I did go Black Friday shopping, which is the highlight of my my week generally. I mean, seeing the family's great too. Thanks, Mom. But also, this is actually kind of a cool day because I did get something this Black Friday that I've been waiting for a while. I got a winter coat. That's not the thing, but that was pretty cool. But I also got the iPhone X, which I've been waiting for a very long while. Yeah, my dad ordered it today. Now, granted, I don't have it with me here in my hands. They put in an order for it and kind of get it. But I'm super excited. The iPhone X is the flagship of the new Apple phones. I mean, Apple is heads and tails better than any other phone out there. So
I don't know, man. Freaking Nokia flip phone or whatever is pretty good.
Or the
the
old Nokia that
Look,
could
hand
never
the
break.
iPhone X out a speeding bullet. No, it can't.
That's
that's
what
true.
I thought.
Does anyone here not have an iPhone?
I have an iPhone.
Oh,
I have a
thank God.
It's not my
7 Plus.
primary phone, but I have one on the side.
It's
'cause I
But you have a
use two
side
phones.
phone?
oh, I
Yeah.
get it. His primary
Side phone.
phone is the Nokia.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I mean, listen, emergencies, you gotta keep that Nokia right on hand.
No, I have an LG phone that I had first, and then I bought an iPhone mostly for a better camera because my current one sucks. But I don't want to have to move over my texting. I mean, I'd lose all my text messages.
I get you.
There's some
Yeah, I
get
features
you.
on my main phone that I still like that I don't want to switch over, but I do like bringing the other one around for snapping memories and stuff like that, and Snapchat because
man.
Android for some reason gimps all the photos on Snapchat. It takes the crappiest pictures. Basically, it gives you a preview of your camera. It doesn't actually use your camera when you take a picture. It just screenshots what it sees on the screen and calls it your picture that you
What?
take on Snapchat.
What the heck?
Why?
It's super weird. It's just a camera preview, not the actual camera. So
I never knew that.
for some reason iPhone actually gets it right and like actually gives you good pictures on Snapchat, but not on
iPhone
Android.
actually gives you a camera.
Exactly.
The live studio audience is disagreeing with me. This is going to be my Nintendo. I'm gonna die on this thing. iPhone
Oh my gosh.
is infinitely superior. Apple forever. Android is made by a bunch of hacks who have put together open source software just so they can put it in all the crappy phones that can't afford the iOS. That's really all they are. Just kind of listen, man. I have legitimately tried several Android phones, and I've always hated using them. They're just like completely waste of space.
What happened with this Nintendo discussion that Prpl is mentioning in the live studio audience, which you too can be a part of by donating to our Patreon at patreon.com/the TTV channel. You can become a part of our Discord server, and you can listen to live recordings of the podcast. Anyway, no. So what happened? What was with the Nintendo discussion?
Apparently, okay. Were you part of this, Sven? Were you a part of a?
I wasn't there when you guys were talking about Nintendo.
I wasn't there either. Who's there? Is anyone here there?
All I know is
okay. Apparently,
I mean, I was there. I just don't remember anything.
Wow.
Of course, Prpl. Apparently, like Var Takuma didn't like Nintendo, or they were like
they just had
jokingly
like
bashing
criticisms of it, like whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, I guess, and some people came out in staunch defense of it, which I feel was a lot of them were interesting. A lot of them were based on console exclusives, which I don't think are really that great. And like the only reason console exclusives really exist is to sell the console. So I'm not like people are saying that like, oh, there's no variety if you don't have console exclusives, which I don't know. I just don't really. I'm
not a fan of console exclusivity. Well, for selfish reasons, I understand why it's a thing, because competition is absolutely necessary in order to push sales. So I get that.
Competition is necessary to push sales in a sense. I mean, like, basically, what is really the difference between getting an Xbox version of the game and a PS4 version of the game,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, everyone's saying it's not like if every single game that came out for these consoles were console exclusives, then the competition excuse comes in. But you get every game for either console, and they're the same game. So there's no competition.
Yeah.
It's the studio's just making two different versions of the game. I don't get that competition excuse.
It's really weird, especially now when the Xbox, for instance, the Xbox One and the PS4 are essentially the same kind of console. They just offer some different services. Like, I was actually having this conversation
VR?
with my cousins last night. They're the same thing. They offer just about the same amount of power. You get the same kind of graphics. Not one hardly looks better than the other when it comes to, like, say, Assassin's Creed, right? That game's available for both consoles, but it looks the same, plays the same, works the same. But let's get a little bit more specific. Let's say you got Star Wars Battlefront, or you wanted to get Star Wars Battlefront, the first one, not the second one.
Okay, right.
But the first one,
right?
You had trouble deciding if you should get it on PS4 or Xbox One. It's the same game, but if you got it on PS4, you got like this VR mission that you could do if you had the PlayStation VR, and then if you got it on Xbox One, you wouldn't have that. So it's like I guess the benefits depend on what kind of a consumer you are. Like, if you're into the VR stuff, then, like, by all means, PS4 is like the easy choice. If you don't care about any of that, and you care more about having that all-in-one entertainment system or the backwards compatibility that the Xbox One offers, then you go for that. It's always conflict of interest because not everybody's into the same things.
I think there's some benefits necessarily to having like a different types of consoles, and with those console exclusives, I guess like some companies do sponsor certain games to be on their own consoles, and so
Sony does it all the time. Sony's always like
Sony does it way better, I feel, than Microsoft. I wish I didn't go with the Xbox One. If I'm being completely honest, I feel like that was a mistake. We all made consciously because we wanted Master Chief Collection, and that was just what a poor decision that was.
Sell it and get a PS4 or whatever.
I don't mind having an Xbox One, even though I just barely bought it. But
I don't mind
that's a
having an
different story.
Xbox One because I can go black. Wow, I can go back to playing Halo.
Once you go black,
That's
you
like
can't
the
go back.
only reason why I still have one.
I
Though,
mean,
is like if I miss Halo 2 or something, I'll go play the anniversary edition on it. Otherwise,
That's true. Okay, the anniversary thing is.
yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Sven.
The Master Chief Collection, yeah, it was broken at first, but it's fixed up to a point where I can be like, whatever. If I want to play like through one of the old campaigns again, it'll work, you know.
When Halo comes out, when like the Halo
Halo 6?
6 comes out, yeah. Basically, are we going to Are you going to play it on the Xbox or are you going to play it on PC? Because it's coming out for PC too. It's going to be like...
Yeah, if it's going to be one of those games that comes out
Crossplay,
on PC
right?
as well, then I'm doing that.
I wish it'd be one of
I
those-
think
Like,
Microsoft's doing that.
as far as
Hybrid
consoles
releases.
go, I think laptop is my favorite console, so...
Okay.
So and again,
Prpl.
it's like conflict of interest because then you have the whole debate over what platform has the best graphics. But I mean, arguably PC
It's
can offer
getting
the best
negligible
because,
now.
Yeah. At this point,
There was a point where you could argue about it. PS like even the PS2 versus Xbox era, there was more room to argue. Now I feel like it's negligible. Maybe one is a little better than the other, PS4 versus Xbox version when it comes to
hardly
graphics,
tell
but it's
nowadays.
not by much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly not
the
worth
biggest
that
difference
little
would be on PC, and even
deal.
then, the difference
Right.
isn't really that drastic. Like, sure, there's a
anymore.
couple extra shaders or God rays and the frame, but what really matters is the frame rate. Right, that's like the biggest thing that everyone's pushing for now. Not so much like how pretty the game looks, because that seems to be an easy job to do now. Like, every other game looks super realistic and nice and pretty with nice lights and everything. But now everyone's all about like frame rate.
Yeah,
Will it
it's
be
like, can you
30
have it be
or
pretty
60?
while also like,
Running
going
smoothly.
at the right? Yeah, because like, what's the point of like looking at pretty stuff if it
Yeah,
keeps
that's
like,
why
60
I
FPS.
will
Yeah.
I will always prioritize PC so I can have the best of everything. Like if I want like my game to look good and run good, I'll get it on PC. I'm not gonna prioritize it for PS4 or Xbox One or whatever.
And I mean, I would say with Nintendo, there's a lot of issues with that company, particularly with the fair use and the things and how backwards they are with some things like
Okay,
their
yeah,
accounts,
Nintendo
like
makes
the
some
online
really
stuff.
dumb decisions. Like they still make dumb decisions.
Right now, there's clarification before people start attacking me. I'm a Nintendo kid. Grew up with Nintendo. I love all their games. I played every Mario game, every Zelda game, most of the other franchises at some point or another. But like basically, I play Breath of the Wild on my friend's Switch. I can't transfer my save.
Yeah,
I can't transfer my own save file from my friend's Switch if I get a Switch.
Well, you can
So I
now.
don't know what the
Actually,
deal
they
is.
did update it.
Oh, they did. Oh,
Yeah.
thank God.
The thing here's
Okay.
the thing. Like I'm of this similar opinions. You know, like I grew up with Nintendo consoles. I'm trying to get every game I can for the Switch just because I like taking it on the go. I was just playing Skyrim a little bit ago. Oh my gosh.
Is that pretty good?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's a great game, but I mean, like just to be able to play it on my lap or something. Like I was at my Thanksgiving dinner table just chilling there playing Skyrim while everything
See where
was
your
getting set
priorities
up.
are at. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean everything was getting set up. People were being seated, and I'm just chilling there playing Skyrim until everyone was ready. So, anyway, love the console. I just wish that they had done some things with it from the beginning, like backwards compatibility. It's kind of weird that they didn't include that to begin with, but I hope eventually they do. Streaming services, they barely just put Hulu on it. You know, like there's no Netflix yet or anything, so it's like. It offers a lot less of the all-in-one entertainment systems type of thing that the other consoles have right now.
Yeah. What's
and then
portable,
there's,
man?
like, that
You can
thing
take it
that
anywhere.
Things like the thing that you mentioned where you couldn't transfer your profile for like the longest time. They barely just added that in a recent update. So it's kind of weird. Nintendo's not the only company that does that though. I know Sony did that. Like they failed to fulfill some promises they made about the PS4 when it launched. Like there's supposed to be a function where you could like pause your game and then kick it back up on like your friend's PS4. Like if you went to a friend's house, you could just start playing it again from where you left off.
Oh,
you know?
they would
There's
stream
supposed
it
to be a
from
feature
your...
like that. Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, they're supposed to be streaming like that. they demonstrated so many features on the PS4 the E3 where they revealed it that were not available when the PS4 launched.
Right.
And honestly, that was partially the reason why I didn't pick up anything for the PS4 for the longest time. Like, I hardly touched it up until now because I decided, I want to play Uncharted. I could get it for a good price. I want to play through all the games.
There's some games that like Sony has exclusive to their console that I feel work great on the Switch. Like like Persona 5, I've always wanted to play on the Switch. I feel like that's a perfect game to like kind of take around with you as you go. But man, like the Switch is great now. It's, you know, Nintendo's on the upswing, but the Wii U is so bad, dude.
Wii U was terrible. Like
garbage.
It had some great games, but as a concept for the console, it
yeah, like I tried playing like Splatoon and stuff, but I did not like how the Wii U controller was. Like I was so used to like the old one.
Yeah. There are people out there that really like the Wii, and by all means, hey, if you enjoyed it, cool.
Sure, if you like it.
I'm glad you did, because I didn't.
I wish Splatoon was
like
for
pushing
PC.
so hard for the Wii U to be successful too. Like when that thing first came out, I was like, okay, I can dig it, because like I tried out a demo for Zombie U, and I was like, oh man, this is great. Like I get to use the gyro controls on the gamepad, and it like they had like all these different features on it that worked really well. Like that was one of the best integrations of what the gamepad had to offer, and I was like, okay, I see where Nintendo's going with this. I can buy this. But then they hardly use it in a lot of the games that have been coming out. They lose third-party support.
They didn't utilize it as well.
Yeah,
and like even the thing about the Wii U too is that like not only was it bad, there wasn't a major thing for it that made it a must-buy system. You know, even like the GameCube. Even I know a lot of people hated the GameCube, but you at least had Twilight Princess. You at least had Super Mario Sunshine on it. The Breath of the Wild was released on it, but it was released alongside the Switch. You know, like when the Switch came out, it was like we got the new
like
Zelda game here.
Which would you rather?
There was an Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
Var, a longtime fan, illustrious Var, and the live studio audience said he's surprised that people hated the GameCube. People did not like the GameCube. The GameCube was actually the qualified loser of the console war during that time. Now you can look back with nostalgia at it, but like during that time, I remember distinctly like people didn't, because it wasn't you weren't able to play like a lot of the games that came out on PS2 or Xbox with it. You know, it was just kind of like,
and it was also
I liked it.
It didn't even have like online support, which was something that Xbox and PS2 were starting to introduce.
Yeah,
right. That was a big deal. Online multiplayer.
Yeah.
And what's a good? Oh, there is one major game for Wii U that hasn't been re-released yet for Switch, and that is Smash Brothers. I feel like Smash Brothers was the one game for
I don't know what's going on,
that
but
was
they need to say something about Smash, because I need to know if it's coming out or not. I need to know if I can get rid of my Wii U or not, you know? Like
I'm upset about the fact that they released Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on the Wii U, and they didn't just turn around and do that on the Switch. We know you got it working. Just, you know, you up-resed it and everything. Just put it on the Switch. I will play it.
It's like we're mad because we
like
Nintendo so much that we want them to do this one thing that...
Just do more of your games, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Release
We want them to do
PC.
more with what they have, but they're not doing it. Like at least we got Mario Kart again.
I actually want to play Mario Kart. It looks fun.
It is fun.
You played it before though, right? You've played
maybe like once.
Did you not play it with us?
Wow.
I guess we didn't really have a Switch time at
No, we didn't.
At
we didn't
Brick
really
Fair.
make time to play video games.
We should have done that.
You guys played ARMS like
wanted
once,
to.
like the day I showed up, and then that was it.
That was true.
Really wanted to, but most of the time got synced into Westworld.
Yeah, it was pretty busy.
Westworld was we didn't even finish Westworld either. That was totally
I don't even remember what happens in the show. That was such a waste.
Dude, you didn't get to the end. We were like, we stopped watching when Invi came. But like we were like 3 episodes from the end, and the ending is so good, dude. Westworld is so great.
Cool.
But I mean, yeah, we'll figure it out sometime.
I feel like there's one thing for the Switch.
Mario Kart.
I feel like there's one thing for the Switch that will make me tip and like actually get it, but it's not even a Nintendo exclusive. It's the fact that From Software promised they would port Dark Souls to it.
Oh yeah, that's right. They got it working on the Switch.
Like I want to get a Switch, but right now I just don't have that much of a reason to get it. So I mean, if they actually put Dark Souls on there, like I will go for it. And
I'm sure they
by
will.
the time that comes out, they're already dropping the price, so probably be lower even further by the time I get it.
I don't know.
I wonder if you'd like. Have you played Breath of the Wild, Invi?
No, I've heard about it and like some of the difficulty and stuff, but I don't know. I've been so out of the loop on Zelda for like ever that it just like doesn't motivate me enough to get it.
I was the same way. Like 2 months before I picked up Breath of the Wild, and then I had so much free time on my hands that I just spent time playing through like some of the most popular titles from the series. So I played the original one. I played the Super Nintendo one. I played Ocarina of Time. I played Wind Waker, a little bit of Twilight.
Yeah, dude, I remember you went on Zelda. You binged Zelda.
Yeah, I basically binged. I didn't get to finish them all because I gave myself like about a week per game, because I was on a time crunch, man. Like Breath of the Wild was coming up soon, and I knew that by the time that came up, I was gonna want to play that the most. And lo and behold, first night that I got it, I was obsessed with it, so I did not want to touch my other Zelda games. I knew that was going to happen, so that's why I gave myself like that much time to do each game. But it was cool. It was really cool because you actually get to see how they progress with the gameplay.
Yeah, the history of stuff.
Yeah, like the jump
I'm
from
a big
the Super
fan.
Nintendo game to the Nintendo 64 one is like, it's kind of crazy because, I don't know, for me, I realized, like, wow, this must have been a big deal, because they translated what was essentially 2D gameplay into a 3D environment so seamlessly. Like, it plays very similarly, but it's different at the same time. I can only imagine how crazy people must have been when they tried that out in Mario 64 and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a definite like jump from Link to the Past to Ocarina of Time, and I'm a huge fan of like looking back at like the first iteration of something new and seeing how like just the design that went into it, because when they brought like Mario and they brought Zelda into 3D, this had never been done before. You know, Nintendo was kind of like breaking a lot of new ground, and a lot of the things that they developed in that time became, you know, staples of how people did games from then on. Like Z-targeting was a whole big deal with Ocarina of Time to kind of when they shifted into a 3D thing. There's a cool guy on YouTube called Game Maker's Toolkit, and he does all these like analysis videos on video games, how they're developed, and it's really cool. You guys should check it out. But he does a whole series on each of the games and the dungeon design in the games and how good they are, what makes them good and makes them bad.
Yeah, you told me about it. I haven't got around to watching any of it yet.
Sure. I mean, like they're just really good video essays. I'd recommend them to anybody. But Breath of the Wild was one of those games. Up until now, I had always played the game after the fact. Like I started playing Twilight Princess a couple years after it came out, and I got Skyward Sword when it came out, but it wasn't a groundbreaking game. And with Breath of the Wild, it was really crazy to play a game that was like groundbreaking in a new way as it was happening. Like it was happening in my lifetime, kind of. You know, I wasn't reading about it in a history book. Like you could play it and be like, oh, this is where games are going now. I get it. I understand. So just really cool game. There you go. But back to what we were saying beforehand. Screw Android. Android's the worst. Android's the devil. It is a OS made by garbage people who live in homeless shelters. That's really all there is to it.
Oh, hold up. I did want to ask you guys one thing. Are you guys going to do any Black Friday shopping?
Not really. I might do like Cyber Monday shopping because it's like way more convenient and everything I want is just online. But I don't know. There's nothing I want from stores, you know? It's like, I feel like if I were like an adult living by myself, the one thing I'd buy would be like appliances or something. Because like those
TVs.
are always...
I'd buy a TV.
Yeah,
Black Friday.
I'm pretty sure my dad buys a TV every year. Except for
I was contemplating buying a TV, but God, it's like the worst time of the year for... Black Friday is placed in the worst time of the year, honestly, because like I already spent so much money getting gifts.
It's like... I just recently like spent a bunch of money because of like expenses and stuff, and
exactly.
It's like,
and now here comes Black Friday. Oh yeah, you could get this TV that's like $300 off, but it's still $200, and it's like, oh well, that's a nice deal, but it's still a lot of money. I'd love it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't
just because
have
it's
that
on
money.
sale doesn't mean it's cheap, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Christmas gifts, especially, are like.
Black Friday is annoying because it's like right after my birthday, and it's like, come on. But yeah. Oh well.
Why couldn't my birthday be better timed?
You know?
Why couldn't the sales line up with my birthday?
Why couldn't my mom just hold it in?
Wow.
I feel like with gifts, it's hard to, like we were just saying then, because I have to buy some Christmas gifts. But as I've grown older, I realized that I have less and less money to spend on people. And so my Christmas gift shopping grows less. It's easier for birthdays because I can kind of like save up for someone's birthday, or like I only have to spend like $30 at a time. For Christmas, even if you just have 6 friends and you're like, I'm going to get them, a $20 gift. It's $120 you got to spend. And
I'm really glad I don't celebrate Christmas because I don't got to worry about any of this.
It's true. It's true. Don't you celebrate another gift giving holiday?
Eid?
Though?
Yeah.
Eid
Eid.
al-Fitr? Is that how you say it?
Eid.
Okay, sure.
Eid.
Yes.
Sorta, yeah, but like gifts aren't like the main focus of it. It's more just spending time with family than anything. So.
Okay, so that's your excuse for not buying him anything.
No. Besides, my mom's birthday is in December anyway.
Giving the gift of your time.
Yeah.
Giving the gift of your time. Have I told you my idea for birthdays? We should do to change the custom up.
What?
For birthdays, what you should do is like when it comes around to your birthday, you should just like buy gifts for like you don't receive gifts, you buy gifts for other people, and you like it's like, hey, it's my birthday, here's a present from me and stuff, and so what happens is that one, you get gifts all year long. All your friends are giving you gifts as their birthdays come around, and 2, you don't have to remember anybody's birthday. You don't have to they just give you a gift and you're like, oh, dude, happy birthday, happy birthday, man. And that's it. That's your interaction. You don't have to be like, oh, I just remembered whatever or anything. And it would be way easier, it's the same amount of money basically because you're buying everyone the same, presents and stuff. And anyhow, yeah, totally.
We should do like a TTV.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Yeah.
We should do
totally
like a
sense.
TTV Secret Santa thing, except not Santa.
TTV Crit Santa.
TTV Secret.
Who is the guy
presents.
from Clone High?
Abe?
Who's that guy? No, like the Snowflake Day. Prpl. On Snowflake Day, they celebrated the thing, and they had this guy come in who was like a pirate.
Oh, yeah,
what was
the
his
pirate.
name?
I don't know.
The pirate guy.
Oh,
We'll just do secret pirate guy, basically. That's what we'll do.
Secret Snowflake Day.
Secret Snowflake Day. That's an old show that we haven't, I didn't really realize existed, but we started binging it recently. There's only 1 season to this show. It's the guys who made the Lego Movie made this show, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, way back when. And yeah, it's actually really good. There's a lot of good old shows.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's also an adult show, so just so you all know. But
oh yeah, no, definitely. Kids don't watch that. I completely forgot that. Yeah. I forget sometimes with cartoons that it's not like it's kind of a Adult Swim-esque show.
We literally just watched South Park last night.
Thanks for sharing.
Okay.
We watched it, and it was a Black Friday episode, and it was talking about the Xbox and PS4s. The episode where they're deciding which console they're going to go to. Actually, pretty relevant now that I think about it. So, tie that all back in. But yeah. Envy, what about you, man? Are you taking advantage of these Cyber Monday deals or something?
No, I haven't really been focused on any deals. I went shopping today. My brother busted a part of his guitar where you're supposed to plug the cable in. Somehow the washer or whatever it's called got pushed in, so he wasn't able to plug anything in. We went to the store, they fixed it really quick, and I bought some stuff. Literally nothing discounted, except I think I bought a tuner for my bass guitar because I've had my bass guitar here at my parents' house forever. I had no way to bring it down to Arizona with me, so now I'm taking it back, and the only thing I got that was slightly discounted was a tuner. Other than that, nope. Paid dropped 50 something bucks on going to the store with my brother.
Nice.
It's just fantastic. All my money's vanishing within a matter of a few days, and I just got paid a couple days ago.
How often do you get paid? It's once every 2 weeks?
Yeah, once every 2 weeks. But they did a little advance with Thanksgiving. They're like, hey, we're gonna get you guys a few days in advance so that you can get stuff before Thanksgiving. Like, all right, not bad. But
that's good.
How was your trip to your parents' home? Did you have a safe ride?
Dude, it was actually pretty safe. Me and my sister went, and we drove because we go to the same college in Virginia, so we're
really?
driving.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so we actually one of my friends called because she needed she was just venting about stuff. She had issues that she had to work through, and she called me because all my friends back home kind of have me as their designated solver of stuff. So we called in.
You're the counselor.
I'm the counselor. I'm the
nice.
I charge procession. Yeah, no, just people.
I need to start doing that.
Dude, you should. It's great. I also do that for papers. I charge to write papers for people and for school.
Oh, I almost thought that was signing papers. You have to pretend to be they're adult or something.
Yeah, I go to the theater and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see this rated R movie. You need to have someone in." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm their dad. They're adopted. 'Cause I'm Asian, they're not. But
whose kid is this?
They look like their mom." Whose kid is this? How about you, man? How was your trip?
Oh, it was just lovely. Oh,
nice.
So I drove up. I went from Arizona to Utah, and there is a way of going straight, going up north through Arizona and then just going straight into Utah. But I decided to take the highway that leads. You kind of go off in a northwest direction to cut through Vegas, and then you take Vegas kind of then northeast up to Utah. And there's this town in Arizona called Kingman that's about 100 miles from Las Vegas. And right dead in between, there's literally nothing out there. I'm driving, I'm on the phone with my friend, and my car starts shaking in the, right in front of me. So the front left side starts rumbling, and I know what it is because I remembered your story about your car breaking down on your way to the airport. So I know what's my tire coming apart, and all of a sudden I'm just like, holy crap, I gotta hang up, and then I hung up on my friend, and I pulled over to the side, and it was really funny because she had to talk to her grandmother real quick, so the whole time I was just sitting there and listening to her talking Russian to her grandmother and stuff like that, and then I start freaking out, and she can't say anything to me, so I just pull over and I hang up real quick, and she's just like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you in a little bit. So I'm outside my car, it's cold, I'm kind of shivering. I called my roadside assistance for my insurance. I kind of sound like I'm panicking, but I think it was more because I was shivering. But I'm just like, what the crap is going on? I'm going to pull up a picture for people to see my blown up tire, but it was bad. I don't even know what the heck happened. It just kind of fell apart on me in the middle of the road.
Yikes.
And fortunately enough, my insurance covers being able to be towed away and stuff like that, or just getting help on the side of the road. So they offered to tow me first to the next town, which was 20 something miles away.
Oh man.
And then they said it would take a long time to get a truck out there, so they could just come and fix my tire, put a spare on, and I can go get a new tire myself. Yeah. So it's my car wrecked at 7:16 in the morning, and after my call and all that stuff, they give me 2 hours. They're like, okay, we'll have someone out there by 9:30. So I'm sitting there in the car. I'm just talking to my friend for that long, and 9:30 starts rolling around. State Farm automatically calls me. They got some machine oh, we're just confirming if you got your service or not. I'm like, no. So then it calls an assistant again. He goes and checks what's going on with the company that's supposed to help me. 40 more minutes passes by before I finally get help. So I've been out there for 3 hours with my car broken down on the side of the road. Wow. It was so bad. The worst part, I wasn't even that worried. The worst part though, I had to use the bathroom so bad, and I didn't want to, that was a busy highway, and none of the bushes were very inconspicuous. So I wasn't going to risk it with all these people passing by. It hurt so bad. It hurt so bad, man.
Oh man.
Did you have a ball?
No, I didn't want... Dude, gross.
That's disgusting, Prpl.
Exactly.
Gross.
I have some decency. So...
Yeah. We're civilized people.
My tire got fixed, and I just, gunned it. I drove to the next city, which was past... Or, no, it was right past the Hoover Dam, I think. There was a visitor center, and I pulled off the road, as soon as possible. Oh my gosh. Oh man. That was quite the... It delayed my trip by quite a bit. I left at 3 a.m. from my house, and I should have been at my parents' house like around 2. Like 2 in the afternoon. I didn't even get there till like 6:30.
Oh wow.
So,
Yikes.
everything else worked out. Once I got that tire fixed, I just had a smooth ride the rest of the way. And, it was fine. But other than my tire getting shredded.
Yeah, tire blowing buddies.
I know. Ugh, man, you cursed me.
Yeah.
I know, I just passed it on.
I've never had like a tire blow up on me, but I have had like my, what's it called, bumper? Not bumper, but like the one over the tires.
This sounds terrifying.
Like just be ripped off because I didn't. Yeah, I didn't back out of my garage properly. So, it's kind of a small garage, especially for 2 cars.
Wait, so what got destroyed?
It's like the curvy bumper on top of like a tire, over a tire. You know, we just talked about like the Lego
We
version.
just talked about this. Yeah. It's like a... Wow, it's like a tire guard?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking,
Something
the tire
like
guard.
that.
Because we were all here for it. Oh no, maybe it was X. X was with us.
Maybe,
on that podcast.
But yeah, it was that thing. And yeah. It was easy to put on because it wasn't broken. It just like popped off, I guess. But
what's it called?
I don't know.
A fender?
Let me check.
I think fender is the
Yeah,
back
I think it's
and
a
the
fender.
front piece.
No. A fender is the thing over the wheel. It's a thing over the wheel, like a bicycle fender, right? Yeah, like a bike fender is over the wheel, and the bikes don't have the. Yeah,
There's something in bumper,
not a
but
bumper. Yeah.
So what's a fender bender? Is that just like hitting the fender?
It's when you bend the fender.
Bend the bender. Oh.
not a Fender Stratocaster. Sorry, bud.
Okay, I get it. Here's the deal. This is a lot of times there is no real fender for a car, so I'll link you a image here real quick. So this is a fender on a car. You see that?
Yeah.
There's no actual thing, so when you hit the bumper, they call it a fender bender because you do bend that fender.
Oh,
back.
okay.
But the bumper is part of the fender.
Okay.
Defenders.
Yes. Marvel's Defenders.
Defender benders.
So, yeah, it sounds like an interesting thing. You guys have any trouble getting anywhere for Thanksgiving? I know you did, Prpl. I know you.
Yeah, totally.
Had to go
I had
very
such a hard
long
time
and far to go to Thanksgiving.
going all the way upstairs and like 12 in the afternoon. You know, it's just.
I'm living your life right now. I've been living in the basement, and I've actually been living in my parents' basement for
Isn't it great?
for this week. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually not too bad. I have a really large space here. I should actually show you guys around. But like, I have a huge space down here, and I can just kind of do whatever I want. And then I also have like a bedroom and stuff, so I just sleep there. And honestly,
nice.
It's actually real great. There's a kitchen here. There's everything. It's basically a separate house almost. There's a bathroom, shower, kitchen, bunch of sofas.
Well, I've got like all that except for the
really
kitchen,
cool.
but I do have like. I have my own fridge and microwave, but I don't have like a stove or anything. So.
Okay. Well, there you go. I've been living your life.
Nice.
Then, what about you, my man?
What?
Then,
My man.
What did you do for Thanksgiving? Anything?
Hung out with some friends for like the first part of the day. Then like around 3 p.m., 4 p.m. ish, went and drove to another city to have dinner with my family.
Nice.
That's it. Yeah.
That's not bad. Can't
Nothing
complain.
extraordinary.
Oh, it's the usual. That's our tradition. Just every year, get together, have family dinner.
Neat.
You guys have
Nice.
turkey this year?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I feel like that's a. How's a turkey? You guys like turkey?
I sometimes like
Turkey's alright. It depends on how it.
Yeah,
I don't know, sometimes turkey's
it was
too dry for
prepared
me.
Really well this year. Like usually it's a little dry, but this time there's a lot of nice not sauce, but it
Grease?
had like a very
Stuffing?
It was No, it just wasn't as dry, I guess. It was wetter.
More moist.
So greasy, yeah.
I used to hate turkey. It's
Moist
honestly not even grease. It is a moisture, there is a juice to it.
Yeah.
And I figured out what it is.
That's it.
I used to hate turkey.
Grease?
It was juicier.
I'll tell you, Prpl. Essentially, what you do is that you take the turkey and you put it into what's a brine, and the brine is basically like salt water. Essentially, and you the brine is it's salt water and some other flavorings you can put inside it too. And what the brine does essentially is that it will swirl around the turkey and extract the water from the turkey, because just how osmosis works, and basically it'll get the water level to where water and salt and all the flavors are flowing in and out of the turkey. Basically, if you leave it overnight, and that's what makes the juice kind of feel baked into the turkey. And so when you cut it, there's a lot more moisture in there, and it tastes really good.
Neat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the only
There's
turkey
some cooking
I
science for you.
are the giant turkey legs at Disney World. Those are so good.
Those are pretty good.
Have you been to Disney World?
I haven't had them in. I went to Disney World about 10 years ago.
Oh wow.
We did get a turkey leg there, and I remember liking it a lot. That's about it, though. I haven't been to Disney World in ages.
I haven't been in a year and a half or something, but yeah.
Wow.
Oh, look at you.
Rub it in, huh?
Hey man, my aunt works at Disney World, so
Brag about it.
Yeah.
Well, brag about that too. You get in for free?
I think so. But we still have to pay for
Man.
expenses.
Oh, that's crazy. Isn't it $250 to go to Disney World or something?
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Have to look
Disney
it up or something.
World Day Pass.
It's like she
All right,
wouldn't
I'm gonna
know.
look
She
it up.
doesn't have to pay that much.
Yeah.
Disney.
Disney World 2018 instead of Brick Fair. That'd be fun.
It
Yeah, if
is.
I had
Oh, it's
more
only
money.
100. It's only no. Wait a second. It's not just 100. It's depending on. I think it's 250 if you want to go all 4 parks or something like that. So interesting.
Huh. Cool.
Disneyland sucks.
They opened that new place at Disney World, the Avatar place, apparently. And it's Pandora, I think, is they have a whole Pandora exhibit. It's supposed to be
Really? That's
really
at Disney?
awesome. Yeah, it's at Disney for whatever reason. I know Avatar is not a Disney property, so I don't know why it's at Disney World. But I guess they just bid for the rights to the park.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's been filled up apparently for a lot of, even the workers weren't allowed to go into, or I mean not allowed to go into, but they weren't allowed to just, the workers can go into any of the parks and bypass lines and stuff, but if you don't work inside that area, you weren't able to for a good while. I think now they're able to though.
Oh wow. I want to work
That's
at Disney. Yeah. Just as I don't even know what I would do. I just want to be there.
Concept artist?
Work at Disney.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool.
I need to be good at drawing concept art though.
You do. You do. You need to get kind of get down the road.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do when you graduate? Is that what your path is?
I have no idea what I'm gonna do after graduation, to be honest.
What do you? You're graduating in May, right? I'm graduating in May.
Yeah.
Invi, when are you graduating?
I have no idea, honestly. It could be next year, this time next year, or it could be in May of the year after. I have no idea.
Okay.
Just
all right,
depends
so it might
on
be
my
winter.
class load.
What do you guys have any plans for what you're doing?
Literally no plans. My dad wants me
just
to
gonna
go
live
to
with your
a
parents
better
forever, Prpl?
college just because it will sound better on applications and stuff. But I don't want to go to another college because that's just work, and I don't want to do that.
What would you move from where you are? Is there a better college near you, or would you have to actually move to go to Cal Arts or something?
I'd probably have to move.
You should You should move.
Oh, wow.
You think about doing that?
You should move.
You should move.
It's
Invi,
college
what about
is
you?
expensive, and I'm not going to waste all that money if it's not even going to be all that useful. You know?
That's true. With art, it's a thing where I feel you could just show your portfolio and people know if they want to hire you or not. I feel that's the big decider.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, if
It's
for a
all
job,
about
but
your
I don't know
portfolio.
either.
It's not really oh, what college did you go to? Yada yada. It's it's just portfolio, usually. So.
Invi, if you had to choose a specialty, because you're doing computer science, right? Same as me.
Yeah.
What would you say is your what would you want to focus on?
Well, I want to go into like designing video games, but if that's not too practical, what I was planning on doing is next year when I go to Thailand, I wanted to get an internship with like some international company that I have, like I know people that work for different companies and stuff, so getting a tech job with them, or like first an internship and then hopefully like down the road like pick up a job with them, because I mean, if you get a job with an international business, it can take you different places in the world or allow you to travel back and forth or something like that, or just like have a reason to live abroad. So I don't know, it's something like that. I don't have any real details. My life's not really figured out, just the vague big ideas of what I'd like, but nothing
Maybe,
too specific, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I've always wanted to do stuff related to app development. I've always like especially specifically with UX UI design, which is user interface design, because I feel like people interact with that stuff all the time. User interface or user experience. So UX,
so that's what
user
UI
experience, or UI. Yeah, user interface. Yeah. The more you know.
Congrats, Prpl.
Yeah.
You're learning things even when you're on break. Thumbs up.
Whoa.
Hey, can I also say, real quick, that I am sick to death of school, and school can go down a hole, and I hate school with every like every fiber of my being right now. I am so done with school. I have had all week to. It's on me a little bit because I had all week to work on some schoolwork, and you know what I haven't done all
my
week?
Gosh, John, are you serious?
See, that used to be me, and it still is.
Excuse me,
except now it's going
Mrs.
late.
Video project that I totally skipped because I didn't want to do it.
Whatever. I just.
Yeah,
I was dealing with stuff. Okay.
Okay.
With stuff.
Stuff.
Well, I'm dealing with stuff too. You don't see me blowing off my schoolwork.
I mean, I kind of do because
totally-
you're not working on it.
Yeah, that's a joke. I'm totally avoiding my schoolwork right now. 100%. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
well, school's just a lovely thing, right?
School sucks sometimes. Finals suck because it's like you have all these big projects you got to work on in like 2 weeks. All of a sudden, and it's like,
Oh, I'm honestly like, I'm so much more of a project person than a test person.
I'm not a long-term project type of person. I need like deadlines and stuff. Otherwise, I just
exactly.
I can't deal.
I have to be coerced into finishing something, so a deadline would help make me actually do it, rather than like, oh, here's this big amount of time, you do whatever you want, but it just has to be done at the very end. Like,
yeah, it's like even if I make a schedule for myself,
I
can't always like stick with it. I need someone else.
I do the
like,
last minute stuff all the time.
I need like an authority figure to pressure me into doing my work.
Sometimes that's what they do for my classes. Like, I have to like submit my first draft of this poster, and then I have to do review and stuff. The one class I do like are the classes where they have like people look over your work, you know, and critique your stuff. Because that element of competition then sets in for me. So it no longer is this thing where I'm like kind of like, oh, you know, like I'm just doing this project. I'm like, I got to be better than everyone else in this stupid class. And so like I do that, you know, when I do a project and you know, it comes out really well. It's really rewarding. Just because like I can see in the other people's eyes how much better I am than them.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. Well, a little bit. I will admit, I did take this graphic design class because I need as a prereq, and now, like I need a prereq to get into another class, and I was like, I'll do graphic design because I've done graphic design, and there admittedly are some people not good at graphic design at all. Like in this class, like there are some people that I'm like, yikes, this is basic stuff.
Don't quit your day job.
I was tutoring this one girl who's having a tough time going through it, and she was like picking out. She was like. We were like supposed to create a poster, and she was like, I'm gonna type this header, and I'm like, okay, well make sure you have, you know, the colors and maybe do the strokes so it stands out. She doesn't want this one color because it's clashing with your background, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna choose a font. And I'm like, okay, and she's like, I like this one, and I was like, no, this is a joke, right? And he's like, no, I actually really like it, and I'm like,
Comic
okay, but
Sans MS.
You realize that, like, yeah, I was like, it was legitimately Comic Sans, and I was like, you realize this is the worst. This is like genuinely regarded as the worst font, and like, it's not even. This is for like a violin recital. So I was like, why would you think that's appropriate for a violin recital? And he's like, I just think it looks cute, and I'm like, But this is legit. This is the number one. This is like the generic like, oh, I'm not good at graphic design thing, where you make fun of somebody for doing Comic Sans, and here she is. There we go. Unforgivable sin.
Rip her.
Well, I mean, I guess that wouldn't be as bad as that one neighborhood I showed you that's near where I live, where they actually like they had the neighborhood sign in Comic Sans MS like engraved in stone.
Oh, what?
They literally.
Hold on, let me find that.
They made a permanent. See if you can find that. They made a permanent decision to have Comic Sans like emblazoned into this thing. It is.
Oh my god.
Crazy. It is unthinkable, honestly.
When I took a web design class very briefly, my teacher half sarcastically was like, if you use Comic Sans or Papyrus, I will fail you for the class. So, yeah. No one used it, thank God. But
it reminds me of that skit with Ryan Gosling we watched. Where it's like, he talks about Avatar and how the dude just like wrote the word Avatar in Papyrus and that was it. Look at this.
All right, there you go. This is real. It's not photoshopped. I've actually like been in that neighborhood.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, if I ever come visit you, we are taking a trip out to this monumentous national location. Yeah, I gotta see this.
Maybe I'll drive there next week or something. I'll go by there. I'll take a picture by it just for you guys.
You should do a little vlog of you like standing next to the thing and being like running your hands through the grooves and be like, this is real. This is not a joke. It's not a Photoshop.
Single tear runs down your face.
The thing I love the most about this is because of the stupid tile in the background. It makes it look like it's a stock photo, you know, and it has the lines going over it. That's so great. Man.
Gosh.
It's a real thing, man.
I don't know how to feel about this picture. It's just... Why?
I don't know. Some people just want to watch the world burn. Can you imagine that going through, like, this wasn't like one dude being like, oh, like for a project, like this one girl, they weren't like, oh, I'm just gonna put Comic Sans in here. Someone's like, you know what? I have like 7 different designs for this, and so some person on the board was like, you know what, that font, that looks great, and they're like, I mean, if you want it, and then they had it printed out in giant stencil, and they put it on there, and there's some dude drilling the freaking thing there. I mean, like,
what
this
was
looks
going through that guy's head? Like, man, I can't believe I'm actually getting paid to engrave in Comic Sans.
I don't know, man.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe spending that? Like, knowing people are spending this much money for garbage and being like, you know what? Sure, sign my paychecks. I'll do it. Whatever you want. You sure? If you want this, that's great. Comic Sans, why not? Good grief. I don't even know what to expect from looking at that. Like, what kind of place is that? I don't even...
Honestly, it looks like a preschool. Like, I could see
what
that...
are you talking about?
I could see that being like a preschool or something. Like Morning Ridge Preschool or something.
Yeah, except it's a neighborhood. Like, it's just a bunch of houses that they developed.
Oh my god.
In a little group. Yeah.
Are they
it's fine.
Nice
it's
houses?
Not that bad. They're okay. They're just houses. Nothing fancy.
Okay.
Var mentioned in the audience that he said this usually happens when the company's too cheap to pay an actual designer. That's true. I should just be like, I should hire myself out as like a consultant designer that's literally like, you pay me $50 and I will do, like, you just pay me $50 and be like, I'm gonna pick a different font for you. I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna pick your fonts. Like, forget this. We're not gonna use Comic Sans. That's not a no-go. We're gonna use literally any other font instead. Papyrus would have been more acceptable.
Honestly,
than Comic Sans for this one. For this one, I mean, like, it would still look tacky, but not as tacky as Comic Sans. It would just kind of look,
It would look okay-ish.
I could see someone going... Well, I could see someone going, oh, I want that font from Avatar when they were making this. That makes more sense than, like, Comic Sans, which is just... I don't know why.
Do they not know the names of any other fonts? Like, even Times New Roman is, like, a name right?
Times New Roman, yeah.
Oh my god,
Kaz says he's paid me $50 to pick a font. Thanks, Kaz. You're You know what's up. Unlike these guys who don't know anything. Times New Roman is your default. It's not, or even Calibri, who's like the default. This comes with every Microsoft Word thing. I
have Microsoft Word.
Yeah. Even like Georgia or something. Like Georgia is one of the free Google fonts you can get for like web stuff. I use that a lot. Whenever I'm writing something, I always make it in Georgia just to give it like a kind of, classic book feel. So
sophisticated, John.
I know,
intellectual.
It takes someone with a high IQ to appreciate.
To be fair,
my
you
fonts.
have to be really smart to understand John's
font choices. Yeah. Oh man.
Goodness.
But yeah, there we go. That's about Thanksgiving. Is there anything you guys look forward to for Thanksgiving?
No, I look forward to it being over. Actually, nowadays I look forward to Cyber Monday sales because I don't know. Except everything I want is like sold.
Side to it.
Everything I want is like sold in Japan, so like sales don't even necessarily apply. So,
What do you want, Prpl?
I want a lot of expensive stuff.
What's one thing you're looking to buy on Cyber Monday?
I want the Noctis Play Arts Kai figure.
Sorry, what?
I want the Noctis Play Arts Kai figurine thing.
Sounds like you're just saying things that sound like words, but
I want the Noctis doll. There.
Oh, okay, there we go.
But no, Play Arts Kai is like a specific type of like posable doll or whatever. So
yeah, they do make some pretty realistic ones. They may do some for the Avengers, which are pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I've been looking. I might be getting possibly a tablet on Cyber Monday, depending on how things go. Because I've been not drawing for too long. I might, yeah, or I might be getting my my iPad fixed. Either one, because I have an iPad Pro. Still went to the store. Gonna cost $340 to fix my screen.
Why?
And I was like, no, can't. That's too much for an iPad screen. That's entirely too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it because it's like, the screen is like meant to carry the pen and everything. It's got like several different things, but like, man, it's just. It's about the half the price of a new iPad, basically.
No kidding. That's
so
just for the screen, man.
Just for the screen, man. It's ridiculous. All right. Well.
Yeah, I mean, Thanksgiving for me was just being nice to come up to see my family. Had a nice twist though. I didn't even know until I got here that like 5 of the 6 uncles are in town, so. They were all over for dinner at my grandparents' house last night, and it was fun. I didn't talk too much, but then getting to hear them all like sit around and talk about their childhoods, it was kind of funny because my youngest uncle, he's like 11 years older than me or something, but he's already like 6 years younger than the uncle before him, or the uncles, because I had twin uncles. Anyways. He was like, man, my childhood was boring compared to yours. And I kind of felt the same way. They've got like all these troublemaker stories about just like stuff they did when they were kids. Like, man, how come I didn't have anything that fun go on? Like, holy cow, they grew up in a small like college town. So my grandparents were university professors and stuff like that. So just like these kids running around a college town doing crazy stuff, like, oh man, it was a fun time listening to them and all of their antics. Apparently they had a reputation in town, and not a good one, because of just all the trouble they caused. I mean, obviously my uncles turned out to be good people, but it's just funny what they did when they were growing up, and then my grandparents weren't too thrilled.
Pranks and stuff, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Really that sort of thing.
I've always wondered what that's like because none of my family lives in the U.S., so it's just been like my immediate family. So no uncles, no grandparents, no nothing for any holidays, basically ever. And so it's interesting, like hearing those stories and like kind of like learning that experience. Prpl, you have family over?
Yeah, I had my grandma and yeah.
Had my grandma and yeah.
Yeah, like that's basically it.
And yeah, she was there. Like,
yeah, basically.
How was that? You like your grandma?
Yeah, she's fine. She's a little weird, but, I mean, she's old, so that's to be expected.
Huh, shocker.
What are you saying about old people?
I'm
You're discriminating against old people?
Old people are different from this generation, so they're gonna seem weird.
Crazy.
Who would have thought?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess that's about my thing, too. Just, immediate family, relaxing, lots of sleep, and, catching up on schoolwork that I'm not gonna do, which is, again, all part of the plan I have to, just draw college out as much as possible. I got one semester left, and then I'm done. And it's basically only 3 classes, not even a full semester. Just done. You know what I don't have to deal with anymore now I'm in the basement, Prpl? Just real quick.
What?
I don't have to deal with my siblings yet. Do you remember when I lived with my siblings? Were you there for around when my family was around?
And I
were
lived
you
with my
know
own.
this.
In an apartment for ever.
Dude, I hate it. Having to record here, just
yeah,
it's so nice with being alone and not having to worry about that stuff.
I know, dude.
But even just talking in call, oh my gosh, when they'd come up and they're like, blah blah blah, hey friends or whatever, and go away, stop.
Right.
It's not your conversation. They
get out of my room.
They try to be wise guys and think they're so
crackers.
smart,
yeah,
making fun of you and stuff like that.
Right.
It's not so much now, but back then, holy cow.
Oh man,
sucked.
my sibling, I started doing this when I was 15ish, so my sister was 13, 14. And they were just insufferable. They would always come and yell and be oh, do this. It was just a nightmare. All the time. And I had to have my computer out in the family room too.
Yeah, exactly. Mine was in the living room too.
Yeah, my parents were oh, we don't want you to have your computer in your room, which is fine. As long as when I need people to be quiet, they're actually quiet. But they're never quiet. They're always oh, this is our house too. We can do it. And it's shut up. Just for 1 second.
My siblings are quiet people until the microphone comes on.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
right?
they think it's funny to start talking.
Right. It's not they've been waiting. They're oh, now that he's trying to do something, now we gotta purposely annoy him. And I had it on earphones too, so they couldn't hear what anyone was saying. So they're literally just causing noise, no reward at all. There's no they can't even hear what the people on the other side are saying. They're just yelling and not
Man, that sucks.
What a life.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't miss that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Right. Yeah.
It is pretty nice. Living by yourself, you should try it sometime, Perps.
I mean, nice. I basically have half the house to myself. I'm content here. For now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Except my brother picks a lock at my
time.
door, so sometimes he'll just come into my room anyway, even if it's locked. So that's fun.
That's a little scary. I would not want to have my siblings I wouldn't want them to have that ability to be able to break into my room at any point. It seems like it'd be.
Dude, it sucks because sometimes he'll steal my food and it's no, I have no other food for now.
I have no sources of nourishment.
Please don't take
this away
my
from
food. But yeah, I think that just about wraps this up, huh?
I was about to say that. I think it's time.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. We could. I've always wondered, because Var was listening here beforehand. Now he's gone. I was wondering, we could just keep this going. What if we just made this a 3-hour episode and we just, what would he really do? Would he come on and kick us out? What can really happen here? But we are going to wrap this episode up. I think we've passed out from some live streams before, so.
I'm so tired.
Figuratively,
already.
not actually. Yeah. Thanks for joining in for this episode of the TTV Wine Club, which I like to call, because it's, you're whining, WHINE, because they're whining about our siblings. It's great. It's a really great pun. I've been working on it for a very long while. Really wanted to have that fun. We'll see you guys next week. As always, stuff in the comments below. Oh, I do want to address something that was brought up earlier in this episode. I think Peel Carr mentioned earlier that the thing of the like and dislike bar has been we've we've taken away the just the numbers for that. And basically the reason why is that we like the like and dislike bar as a, like, to kind of gauge what our audience is thinking, if they like certain videos, if they don't like it. However, recently there's been some people kind of abusing that system, and so it's made it kind of obsolete, because now we can't actually tell what people like or dislike. You know, it's like, because of the abuse, it's kind of been, so we just kind of took it away. You know, it's not serving its purpose anymore, so we can't use it for anything as much as we'd like to. But yeah, that's what happened with that. But you know, it's we still have a lot of other avenues for people to talk and post on. You can go to our message boards, boards.ttvchannel.com, and we've like, you know, your feedback or that kind of thing there. You can subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/the TTV channel, and stay notified on YouTube for more videos coming out from us. We got some more reviews coming out soon. I actually got a really cool thing today that you guys will hopefully see later on. So stay tuned for that.
What is it?
No, I'll tell you later.
Surprise.
It's a secret.
Jeez.
It's a surprise, Prpl.
Fine.
We will see you guys next week for another exciting episode of the TTV Podcast. I'm John.
I'm Prpl.
I'm Invi.
And goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.